Hi guys, it's Nancy here, and I'm back today with another video for Power Poppy's Inspire Me Monday. In today's video, I'm featuring the Season's Greenings Planta Claus digital stamp, which is also available as a clear stamp set from Power Poppy. If you're unsure how to use digital stamps, I'll link you to another video that I did for Power Poppy showing how I set up and print digital images. Here you can see my finished card, as well as the markers that I use to color it. As always, you can use the same markers as shown here, or just change it up. As I tell my students, it's your card. So let's get started. I'm not going to do a lot of narration through the video here, but there are a few things that I want to point out as you watch the coloring. First, you'll notice that I'm not always consistent about coloring light to dark or dark to light. Technique-wise, it really doesn't matter, and to be honest, I've been coloring long enough that I know whether a marker combination that I'm using needs a base coat of the lightest color to help the blending, or works better when blended light to dark or dark to light. So I pretty much don't even think about it anymore, and I just kind of go with the flow. It also depends on what I'm coloring. For things like fabric folds, I need to take the extra time to block out the color placement. And for other things like cute fuzzy animals, I usually color light to dark so I can control the darkness of the final result. It's easier to go darker, but it's hard to lighten up if you've gone too far. Also, I find that students get hung up on rotating through their markers as if it's some sort of magic formula. It's not about coloring exactly like me. After all, this isn't meant to be paint by number. And I can't even color an image the same way twice, so I have no expectation that my students' work will ever look exactly like mine. There's so many factors that go into coloring in general and blending in particular. Are your markers full or do they need to be refilled? What paper are you using? How much pressure are you placing on the nib? Are you using the tip of the nib or making broad strokes with the side? How experienced are you with using your markers? How often do you color? All of these things can factor into your experience in coloring an image. I try to get my students to watch what's happening right in front of them on the paper. Adjust the colors if you need to in order to get the results you want. We've all seen the multitude of Copic color swatches on Pinterest. I use them as a starting point to help me pick a particular shade or even a color scheme. But don't treat them as if they're a recipe for coloring. If you don't have a color you need, combine markers to get the shade you want. Recently, I wanted a particular shade of a grayish blue-green. Real specific, right? I could see it in my mind's eye, but Copic doesn't make a marker to match. So I blended YG93, a pale greenish gray, with BG72, which is described as ice ocean, whatever that might be, with W3, which is a mid-range warm gray, to create the color that I wanted. You'll probably never see that as a color swatch on Pinterest, but it was exactly the color that I wanted. I was coloring a Halloween bat, in case you're interested. Right here you'll see that I'm doing some tip-to-tip blending. This is a great technique if you have two colors that are not blending together as smoothly as you'd like. Take two markers, hold the lighter marker in your dominant hand and the darker marker in the other hand. I'm right-handed, so the lighter color is in my right hand. Touch the nib of the lighter marker to the nib of the darker marker and pick up some of the color. And then use that place on the nib to color on your paper. You will have created a color that's a combination of the light and dark, and you can use it as a transition between the two colors. Of course, now that we're roughly halfway through the video, I should point out that I sped up the coloring throughout in order to reduce the length of the video. I don't actually color this fast. Alright, I'm going to turn on the music, and I'll meet you at the end of the video. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you've been inspired to pull out your markers and color. Have a great day, and I'll be back soon with another video.